Hello everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to another masterclass from Protean for CKYC. So before starting our masterclass, we would like to wait for some time, a couple of minutes before all the people can join. We have a full house today. The session is going to be interesting today. So again, thank you everyone for joining the call. We will start our session sharp at 12:05, 12:04, 12:05. But till then, do stay tuned. Also, just a bit of basic things before we can kickstart the session. So we have our Q&A session with us. If you have any questions, you can raise it directly with our product expert, and he can answer you on the call itself. Additionally, if you have any queries, any doubts, we will be floating a form in the chat box. You can fill that, and we will get in touch with you to sort it if you need a one-on-one consultation session. So for those who have joined just now, thank you for joining the call and our masterclass. So today we are going to deep dive on the new CKYC regulations and practices which have been released by CERSAI, and what impact does it gets on the REs. That will be the point of discussion today. So we will be starting our session in the next couple of minutes, but do stay tuned for an interesting session. We have a full house. I have So for those who have joined us, we'll start in another 1 minute. Thank you everyone for joining our masterclass. We have a full house. So for most of the people who have registered to take the full advantage of the session, we'll wait for a couple of minutes. So till then, just to give you a brief insight, today's masterclass is all about deep diving on the new regulations and the practices which CERSAI has introduced, and how it can impact you and how you can be adhered to the CKYC norms, or to protect your CKYC RR data. That is all which is going to be discussed by our product expert, Saurabh Shukla. So just before just to kickstart the session, to give you a brief insight on Protean, not taking much of your time. So Protean has been the leader and the pioneer in developing digital public infrastructure solutions. So name it PAN, National Pension Scheme, ID verification API infrastructure for all the nation. We have been there. Previously known as NSDL eGov, we have been rebranded as Protean eGov Technologies a couple of years ago. And since we have been building all this foundational infrastructure for the nation, now some of our solutions, which is e-signing solution, ID verification APIs such as a voter ID, birth certificate, and many other APIs. We have 100 plus APIs. Also, we are the largest and one of the most oldest KSA ASA for in India, which provides Aadhaar authentication solution. Also, we are mandated to provide online PAN verification solutions as well. So apart from this, we also are instrumental in developing the CKYC 2.0 project with CERSAI. And we have our own solution which can help organizations like you, the organizations which power the nation, to onboard customers quickly with the help of CKYC solution, and to maintain compliance with the CKYC CERSAI registry. So, not taking much of the time, we will start our session for today. To discuss all of this, I have my product expert Saurabh with us. So, Saurabh I request you to take ahead of this session and enlighten us on what new regulations are there and how we can be totally mandated.
Thank you. Thank you, Rohan. Good afternoon, everyone. I am sure I'm audible to everyone. Yes, perfect. So this is our third masterclass on CKYC. To begin with that, in couple of last sessions, what we have covered, just to give you a brief intro, if some of you have been part of that, uh, if needed, you can ping me in the messages, and I could cover those things again if needed. But we have covered the new regulations, which is a PMLA amendment, which has PMLA guidelines have been amended by Ministry of Finance in July 26th of July 2024. We have discussed those things, the importance of CKYC, how today CKYC plays a very important role in customer onboarding, and how, since the responsibility of all the people who have contributed to this data since 2018 or 19, how that is getting used now by many people, many institutions to onboard a customer. In this situation, it has happened in such a way that uh, we were having a very limited data. The CERSAI was having a very limited data. Now CERSAI has opened the doors for everyone to use that data and onboard a customer. The recent PMLA guidelines also mention the same thing. And subsequently, RBI has also released a circular on, they have updated, ultimately, they have not released a circular, they have updated their KYC master directions in this context. So where the fundamental thing which has been prioritized is CKYC based onboarding should be used for customer onboarding. So that's what we have covered and how Protean is helping. So CERSAI is altogether a government institution completely owned by the government, and they manage the central registry for CKYC. Yeah. Protean is a tech service provider uh, to banks, NBFCs, providing our CKYC solution, which could seamlessly uh, build, process your transactions, and send it to CERSAI for reporting and generating a KIN number. So that's a role of a Protean. We have been instrumental on different technologies and different solutions which we have provided to the market, and they have been consistently working in a very senior or a very high scalable volumes. The transactions which has been processed is very limited, so we ideally process around 750 transactions per second for our different products as well. Including this, we have processed around 1.5 lakh transactions in 15 minutes. In 10 to 15 minutes is what we have observed. So this is all about what we have done. Now today, as Rowan already said, ki what we are going to cover. So we have this masterclass on a monthly basis or on an alternate month basis to understand, because CERSAI has been releasing a new circulars, and people may be aware, people may not be aware. So recently they have released couple of circulars. The last circular which they have released was which I'll be discussing today with you guys, is primarily on how to report the cases. uh, when I say how to report the cases, that doesn't mean that they are telling you ki do this thing, do this 10 things while reporting the cases. No, they are not being very explicit by stating that ki do report these cases. They are just mentioning ki what could be the best practices to report these cases so that it could be used by multiple people in a single attempt. Now I'm starting with that. So primarily I'll display my screen and then I'll start the session. One thing I would like to tell you, ki if you have any concerns or if there is any question which you have, you can just post it into the message. We'll take it subsequently. Okay. Share my screen now. Let me know once my screen is visible. So Protean fundamentally provides the reporting solution, which you could use for reporting the cases to CERSAI. It's not that key as soon as you onboard a customer, you directly dump those data to CERSAI CKYCR because it makes CKYCR data much more open to consume those data, process those data. It's a time consuming activity. Today, if CERSAI reports the KIN number within 24 hours, that is because there are institutions, we have helped the institution to provide the data to CERSAI in a proper format so that there's very minimal work and the KIN number should be generated in a in a fraction of seconds. So the reporting process is very important, but subsequently we also provide an onboarding solutions. Onboarding is primarily an API for search and download. So anyone who wants to use the API need to have an FI code. It's not like that you just being into in any segment. Let's take an example of a hotel industry. If hotel industry want to use CKYC services, I'm just giving a wild example. It may not be the genuine case. Or anyone, or to be more precise, if anyone who doesn't hold any license from RBI, PFRDA, SEBI, or IRDI, in those situations, uh, those people can't use CKYC data. So it is only and only for the regulated entities who are either regulated by RBI, SEBI, PFRDA, or IRDI. So these are the four regulators through which you can access these data. Now for this, you need to register yourself on with CERSAI. They have their own setups. They have their own process which you can go on their website and have a look onto that. Key what's the onboarding process which you should follow. Now talking about the best practices and talking about the solution. So our solution, uh, what CERSAI has given. So I'll just open the circle which CERSAI has given or which has been recently released. So this is the 7th Feb circular, and these are the best practices which CERSAI has suggested to all the REs to ensure and responsibly report the data to CERSAI. It becomes very important for everyone to understand these regulations because the onboarding of some other people is dependent on this data, is dependent on your data. So if I talk about, let's take an example of ABC Bank. ABC is a scheduled cooperative bank operating in specifically in Maharashtra state. So if they're onboarding a customer and they are reporting to CERSAI, and there's one Bangalore-based fintech, or it's an NBFC, or let's say it's a Upstocks, and they want to onboard a customer using a CKYC data. In those situations, the data for onboarding a customer becomes a very important. I'm sure everyone is from the financial BFSI sector. They'll understand the importance of onboarding a customer with the correct data. So the data which you'll feed will come back to you for onboarding a customer. The data which you're using today for onboarding a customer has been fed by someone else in right shape and format. That's the reason you're using it today. But one challenge which banks face today, and during my discussion with the multiple banks, we have understood this key. The data which is received by the bank, sometimes it is not of the proper size, proper quality. Some data is missing, and all those arrangements are there. So in those situations, the responsibility or the ownership of the person who is reporting the data becomes more. And that's the exactly same thing what CERSAI is trying to point out in this circular. So CERSAI, what is the very first one? I'll discuss the first one, uploading the correct data. So when they say uploading a correct data means they have a specific file format. Okay. The file format looks something like this. This is the file format. This is how it looks like. You have your constitution type, account type, unique ID, customer ID, first name, middle name, all the red letters, which is 50 characters, they all are mandatory fields. Sorry, all the green is a mandatory field. here you need to input all the data. Then couple of institutions like who operates in tier 4, 5, 6 city, they say that the customer don't have a PAN. Then you have an option of form 60. So this includes around 71 columns, out of which around 50 or 57 is the mandatory column, which should be there. Some people say that the father's name is not available. Then ideally you should capture the father's name while reporting the data to CERSAI. So it's become very important to report the correct data. Okay, so this is the format. So when CERSAI mentioned that key uploading the correct data, so this is the format, and this is the CERSAI format. You can go to the CERSAI website and you can download the same file, exactly the same file. I've not done anything onto this. I've just added a sample data to understand it, what can be a part of it. Go to the CERSAI website, you can download it directly from there. So uploading the correct data is what they're asking for. Okay. Once you do a correct data, so correct data also means you should verify those data. So correct data was the first one. Second is updating that data after due diligence. So let's take an example. You have the data and you are reporting it in a very wrong way. Let's say what CERSA has defined is the photo ka size jo hona chahiye. The photo size should be of 50 KB, not beyond that. This is the validation which they have say. And it is all whatsoever I'm speaking is there on the website. You can verify those things from CERSA's website. I'm just interpreting this circular for the benefit of the ecosystem so that you could get a benefit of it. And we also provide a solution in regards to this. Now, when you say that updating the data after a proper due diligence, it fundamentally means that I should not report any data which is incorrect or any file which is incorrect or which is not in the prescribed format which is decided by CERSAI or CKYCR. If I don't do that, what will happen? It will unnecessarily increase the load on CERSAI system, the CKYCR, which will lead to a delay in KIN number generation. So it takes too much of time to generate the KIN number. So because the data which has been fed to CERSAI is not in a correct shape and format, that's the reason. So one thing is photo size. Ki if it is mentioned ki photo should be the photo of a customer or the photo of the individual should be of the 50 KB, then you should ensure that it's in the 50 KB. If it is not there, then you should not upload it. Second is the PO should not go beyond 350 KB. Then you need to ensure those things. Third thing is while uploading the data, you should ensure that the data and the file, the images which you're providing is of the same person. It shouldn't happen that the data which is there. Let's take an example here. I'll take this example. This is Mr. Suresh More. And at the end, there's a link for photograph, POI, POA, and POC, which is a corresponding address. In all these situations, in all these documents, incorrectly, because of my system or because of a human intervention or whatsoever is the reason, but incorrectly I have provided the details of Ram Nilesh Pawar. In that situation, what will happen? It will go to CERSAI. CERSAI will verify it, and at that point of a time, they may generate a KIN number, incorrect KIN number, because the data was not there with them, and they're generating a new KIN number with the available details which they have. Let's take an example. I have reported a case with Aadhaar number and PAN number. Tomorrow, the same customer is coming to some other institution only with they say that I don't have a PAN, I just have a voter ID. You can take my Form 60. So you take the Form 60, you take the voter ID and send it to CERSAI. And all the details are, so let's say all the numbers, I'll primarily go based on the numbers. All the numbers are different. So first, the same customer has given the PAN and Aadhaar, and with one mobile number and another one email ID. Today, he's taking a loan. He is fundamentally a fraudster, and he's trying to gauge a new loan from some bank. And there he has preempted key. My name is this, mobile number is this, and I don't have a PAN card. So we'll go ahead with Form 60, and then you take my voter ID. So now in this situation, CERSAI doesn't have any prior validation. So ID CERSAI also search based on, let's say, PAN plus DOB, mobile number, Aadhaar number, DL, voter ID. If data is not available with CERSAI only, how will they verify it? So there's no mechanism to verify. So how system will do is system will generate a new KIN number because half of the data is missing. Half of the data was missing. That's the reason the CERSAI may generate. I'm not saying they will generate only. There are multiple diligence which works on CERSAI end. So in that situation, it is utmost important that you view the data and you verify these things, because today in the digital world, the complete data is coming from the system. You're just reporting the data to CERSAI. Verify these data. Verify these data along with the images. So if I'm saying that Shivani Suresh More's details are going, ensure that the POI number, let's take an example in this situation, the POI number, so the PAN number was GJHPA49. So ensure that the PAN number is the same number. It shouldn't have any other number. So we need to ensure those things. And how we can do this? Eyeballing is one thing, but it should be a system driven. You should adapt the latest technologies like OCR. OCR is an old technology, but you should do an OCR based validation of all the documents, match it with the data before reporting the data to CERSAI, so that you ensure that there's 100% accuracy in your data reporting. And it is not only benefit for CERSAI, it is benefit for ecosystem and benefit for you as well. Because for every reporting CERSAI charge you, and for every reporting there's a charge associated to that. Reporting a single data in a single straight through process and getting it right is the most important thing today. Okay, I'm reporting, giving one data, and in a single go, I'm generating a KIN number within, let's say, 24 hours or less than 24 hours. So that's create a benchmark kind of a situation where it is appreciable for everyone, appreciable for the institution who's reporting that data and for the TSPs as well. Back in 2024, I guess, huh? So there is one bank, since it's there in a public domain, that's the reason I'm speaking, and we have jointly worked with them. IDFC has got some appreciation letter from CERSAI, and they have posted that on their Twitter handle at that point of a time. So that creates an impression for everyone ki yes, there's a benchmarking. The bank like IDFC is doing such a humongous amount of a good work, and it's there in a public domain for everyone to know that ki yes, these things can be achieved by reporting the correct data to the institution, to the regulator. So the second point which Sarsa is trying to talk about is to do a due diligence before reporting the data. Don't just report the data. Now we'll come to the third point, liveliness check of a customer. So while reporting any data to CERSAI or while onboarding a customer, in both these situations, you should ensure that key, because today most of the journeys is a tech driven. I'm not sure ki when I have visited a branch or when I have done a KYC using my biometric, I just go ahead with video KYC from past 2 to 3 years. If I have to open any account or if I have to do my re KYC as well, it's just the video KYC which is so seamless and so simple. So at the time of doing a video KYC, if you're doing a video KYC, if you're not doing a video KYC, the liveliness check of a customer is very much important, specifically in digital footprints, or if your journey is digital. So liveliness check includes the geotagging of a customer. Ki kahan, if I'm reporting that I belong from my permanent address says that I belong from Mumbai, but while doing my video KYC or while opening an account through a physical mode, through a digital mode, or through a business correspondent or through a third party, anywhere, if I'm trying to open an account or trying to start a relationship in a different region, I should ensure the liveliness check of a customer. Whether am I really present or am I not present? Today, if I do a card transaction, or if I do an eKYC with OTP, that doesn't require me or to prove that physically I exist or not. Liveness check ensures the same thing. It ensures that person actually exists or not. It will help you to reduce the kind of a frauds which we are happening, because all the fraudster take the money and put it into an account which is of the deceased person name, and then they withdraw it. Because once you open an account, then and a low risk profile, you have a 10 years ka timeline. In all the situations, the risk profiling of every customer is, let's say, high risk, where high risk with almost 2 years, then medium risk at 8 years, and low risk at 10 years. So you need to ensure the liveliness check. Once I open an account, then I'm nowhere coming to the branches. I'm just cash in, cash out. I'm doing it continuously. But you need to ensure the liveliness check while you're onboarding a customer. That's a very important aspect. Fourth point, which is crucial in this, is consent. Today's DPDP coming into an impact. Earlier, everyone, uh, I guess it's been, I as a customer, I have felt this. This was not earlier, but back from past 1 year, 1 year or more than 1 year now, CERSAI has started sending an SMS alert to the customer. Why they have done this? Because there were people who used to, or there were institutions who used to pull the data from CERSAI without mentioning it to the customer कि I'm going to do such thing. So even customer is not aware. An institution on behalf of the customer, they are pulling the data from CERSAI. So I am the owner in the case of DPDP. I am the owner of that data, and there's someone who's a data processor. There is a data fiduciary, but I'm not aware whether my data is being used or not. So they want to bridge those gaps with the fourth point. You should take a capture a consent from the customer, so that in future, if it is a digital journey, it's fine. If it is a physical journey, then also it's fine, but you should take a consent. Unlikely you have a terms and conditions ka 40-50 pages रहता है, वैसा नहीं, but there has to be some consent which you're taking from the customer, an explicit consent from the customer, stating कि I'm going to use your data to pull the data from, or to pull the details from CERSAI to onboard you as a customer and provide you all the banking services. So there has to be a nomenclature which should be mentioned. So consent in today's digital world is very important and very crucial. Law has also, or the guideline has also came for the DPDP enablement. Very soon we'll be able to see that as well. So we need to ensure that it is in place. The consent is in place. Point number 5 exactly talks about the same thing. Adherence to the data protection, cybersecurity guidelines issued by the regulators, CERSAI, and Government of India agencies. So it talks about the same thing. So it includes all the regulators. I'm sure ki the participants in this masterclass is from diverse sections. We have people from stockbroking fraternity, we have people from banking fraternity, NBFCs, and so on. So all the regulators issue the respective circular to onboard a customer and to report the data to CERSAI. Just to give you a brief, back in September 2024, SEBI has released a circular which talks about KRAs will report a data on behalf of you. Because what was happening, the stockbrokers or sub brokers was reporting a data to CERSAI as well and to the KRAs as well. So now it has been, there are five KRAs in India, and or if there are 5,000 or 10,000 intermediaries or a brokers fraternity, they were reporting the data to two people. One was the KRAs, and the second was CERSAI. Now this has been removed, or the CERSAI part has been removed by SEBI, and they have said you report it to KRA, and KRA will ensure that your data is getting reported to CERSAI. So that's the circular, the last year circular, which has been enabled. Prompt reporting for any discrepancy anomalies in RE's infrastructure integrated with CKYCR to regulate as and CERSAI. And now point number F, or point number 6 in the context. This primarily talks about few months back, or let's say in the month of Jan 24, or sorry, December 24. CERSAI has mandated, and it was coming from past 2 to 3 months, that any system which is being used by CERSAI or which is used by the institution and getting data reported to CERSAI, they should have an individual IP. There shouldn't be a situation which should have a single IP, multiple FI codes are going, a single institution having a 10 different IPs. There should be only one IP through which you're reporting your data. So there is only one IP whitelisting which is being ensured. So that's how the regulations is being pulled. Prompt sharing of security incidents with regulators and CERSAI. So this primarily ensures if there is any uh, delays, or if there is any fraud which has happened with you, or any kind of an onboarding which you're trying to do using a CKYC, which ultimately becomes to be a NPA for you, then you should report, or it's a fraudster to you, then you should ideally report that data, not only for the banking fraternity, but for all the fraternities. In case of NPA, if the person has taken the loan but he has just vanished, there's no trail of him, then it should be reported. And if it's a fraudster, then it should be reported. In case of RBI, if you're not reporting a data, that should be highlighted. So this is how you should ensure, and that's the best practices which CERSAI has suggested to everyone. And that's how we need to ensure that all the data is reporting in a correct shape and format within the guidelines which have been prescribed by CERSAI and the regulators. So that's all from my side, and I'll just open the circular of SEBI so that people are aware ki what it's talking about. So this was a circular which fundamentally have talked about, and it has come last year, which ideally talks about uploading of the KYC information by KRAs to CKYCR. So earlier it was like that ki all the stockbrokers has to report the data to CKYC and KRA both. Now with this guideline changing, it was in the month of June, and then I got impacted somewhere in the month of from 1st of August. The KRA shall upload the data and verify it into the CKYCR within 7 days. The KRA shall integrate their system with CKYC and commit the uploading from 1st August. So starting from 1st August, all the stockbrokers should stop reporting the data to CERSAI, and they could only report the data to KRA, and KRA will take it further with CERSAI. So that's the update. It's an old update since most of them are that fraternity. That's the reason I'm opening this to ensure that everyone is aware and what are the legal integrity of it. That's it. Now we are open for discussion and open for any questions or Q&A, which in case you have anything, you can post it out, or you can just raise your hand and we'll take it. One
One
last
last
thing.
thing.
One
One
last
last thing.
Camera.
निकलेंगे बाहर से.
yeah. So since I was saying that we have a similar kind of a solution which we also work on, so I'll just demonstrate a quick sneak peek of what we provide and how the solution looks like. So this is our CKYC reporting solution, which is there. Whatsoever I have talked with you, we have been providing these solutions from past 1.5 year to the ecosystems, and there are a couple of clients who are already live with us. So this is how our solution looks like, which covers everything. Whatsoever you have seen in the complete situation, or I have demonstrated on the CERSAI server, it can be seen over here as well. You report all the data to CERSAI. You will get to know what is a CKYC trend, what's a TAT. The TAT management is also over here. If it is something is getting rejected, something is getting data mismatch, or data is getting failed, problem mass scenarios, confirm mass scenarios, everything is getting covered in this complete holistic view. You can upload the data in the three ways you can upload the data. One is ideally you should go ahead with uploading your data in a bulk format, and then you can use it uploading a data for images as well. Subsequently, you have an API connectivity, and you can do an single entry as well. So all the three mechanisms are available for all kind of people. In this situation, how it will happen? System will perform all the due diligence. Now, since I'll take an upload mechanism. In case of after uploading a data, if there's any problem into the file, system will highlight for that specific case. Just to give you a quick background, if you're uploading 1,000 records in a clean shape and format without any error, then everything will go as is without any human intervention. It just pass through and go to CERSAI. In case of any exigencies, or in case there is any challenge, is there any if in case there is any discrepancy in the data, then only it will halt at the place, and someone will have to act upon that because the action is needed by the institution. So in this situation, I'm just a quick glimpse key what has happened in this situation. What has happened key, there's an email ID which is incorrect, or it is not in the proper shape and format. So the basic validation which is there in the system, data is invalid. It has been identified as data invalid. While checking, I have understood that key what is invalid. Then I'll just go down, scroll it up. So my email ID is incorrect. So this is the data validation layer which we do. Second is image plus data validation layer which we have at our end. So image plus data, here you can see that OCR is invalid. The image which has been uploaded and the data which is there, which is invalid. So at this point of a time, system has raised a concern. Someone will upload the correct data and the data will be processed. Once the data is processed, and it will be processed not only by one person, it's by maker and checker, and all those validations will be done. Once it is approved, then seamless data reporting will be done to CERSAI without any human intervention. Again, I'm reiterating that if the data is being reported, if the data is clean, if you have uploaded 1,000 records and every data is accurate and there's a preciseness of 100%, in that situation, without any human intervention, system will process the record and give it to CERSAI. Here you can see that all the data is in correct shape and format. Now, since we have made it, once everything in shape and format, the zip file has been created. Using your class 3 certificate, using your signature, this has been done. File is being uploaded. File uploaded, file created. In case you want to know, and this file uploading is for CERSAI file uploading. You can directly file is uploaded without any human intervention. System is doing all these things, and you can see that all the changes are happening over here. All the responses which are coming from CERSAI will be displayed over here. You have your res 0, which is data is uploaded successfully. Then you'll have your response 1, which is your data is being received by the CERSAI. And the corresponding reference number is being given over here. So res 0, res 1, And subsequently, all the responses which will come will be over here. So that's a quick glimpse of it. Anyone who's interested in the solution, they can reach out to our team and we could have a separate session with them on one-to-one basis to demonstrate this end-to-end solution. Uh, Now there are, I guess, four. I'll just answer a couple of questions which has been posted. So Ramji Kesri, uh, we are having a certain queries on CKYC process, and we have only email ID to write. Can we please have connect to team person? See, sir, if you're trying to speak about CERSAI's detail, so let's understand this and let's bifurcate this clearly. Both the institution both the institutions are a separate institution. We are not from CERSAI. We are a different institution. CERSAI is a government institution. We are a different limited company, a registered limited company. We provide TSP solutions to banks and NBFC, which help to report the data to CERSAI. Likewise, just to give you a context of an example, UPI is a product of NPCI, but there are banks who does the transaction, but you have a phone pay through which you're doing a transaction. So we are like phone pay, or we are a Protean e-curve. We facilitate the transaction for processing the transaction to CERSAI. So we don't have those visibility, but you can go on CERSAI's website. They have a 24/7 support. I'll just display those things to you. Let me open that. Once you mail them, you can get a quick call, and also they have a number as well. And the kind of a support which they provide is amazing. Yeah, just sharing my screen. So this is the ID and this is the help desk number. You call them, and the number of time I've called them, they have always answered my calls on this numbers. As a customer, if I'm trying to call, they are answering my calls and they are able to resolve that as well. So they could be able to help you in a much better way. I'll take the questions from SSC Bank Limited. Recently, we are getting CKYC number in a mass format, only last 4 digit, and we are not getting a KYC number even after. Sir, this is the circular which CERSAI has released couple of days back. Not couple of days, it's been more than that. Hold on. In CKYC, if my screen is visible to everyone, let me open that and show it to you. This was a December 16th ka circular on which they have mentioned ki the mask plan of mask in number. So it's not like that it has come recently, but it was a planned activity and it has got almost for 6 months. For the testing and everything has happened for almost 6 months to enable this. Why they have done this, they are the best one to answer. But what I have understood, being into the banking and being into this segment, is they want to secure that like Aadhaar number. Uh, Masking of Aadhaar number is at most important because it's your for digital identity theft. If someone get an access of your KIN number, they can pull your data. It's as simple as that. And once they pull the data, it's humongous data. Matlab, you have given all your data. For that reason, they have done the masking of it, but the right reason can be provided by CERSAI only. I'm taking a question from Subham Majumdar. Since middle name is mandatory, what if any person do not have any middle name? So in case of Aadhaar, if it is an Aadhaar provided, then you can mention the last name in the middle name. That could ideally work. That's a hack which we do. But there has to be a proper document for that. If I have an Aadhaar, if I have a PAN card which has a middle name, but it is not mentioned in the data, then that's incorrect. If it is not mentioned in the document as well, then you can use the last name as a middle name. I'm taking a question from Balakrishna Pednegar. For record where DOB and PIN code is not matching with existing CKYC detail, we are unable to download the existing CKYC ID. What should be the solution for this? You can use the different details like Aadhaar ka last four digit, and there are different parameters on which you can download the data. When an entity submit the customer CKYC detail, what are the verification checklists? I won't be able to confirm on this, sir. It is CERSAI's proprietary, and they are the only one to confirm on this. I can just hunch them because public domain में these informations are not there. They have their own mechanisms. I can say what I have built to ensure, and I have an accuracy of, let's say, 95% or 97% of the cases get reported in a single day, and within 24 hours we get the KIN number as well. I'm taking a question from MVFPL. Hi, is there any time limit for submission of data? What is the consequences of? Yeah, as per, if you are regulated by whatsoever the regulator, in case of RBI, it's 10 days. Ideally, it's 10 days for everyone. So if it is a new customer, within 10 days you have to report the data to CERSAI. And when I say 10 days, it's 10 calendar days, not working days. So Saturday, Sunday भी holidays में उसमें include हो जाते हैं. Yes, to all the regulators, be it if you have a license from RBI, if you have a license from SEBI, PFRD, or IRDA, the reporting of CKYC implies to you as well. So you need to report the data to CERSAI. There's a question from Archana Patil. Can we get any technical person contact detail other than help desk number, as we are facing issue in integration with CERSAI portal, due to which we are unable to bulk upload the feature? There's a Spock. Okay, let me open this website again. In this, if you go on the download section, in the download section, they have something called um, so there was operating SOP. There was one SOP. I am not sure but actually it was here only. So there's an SOP which has an escalation line-wise escalation matrix of everyone. So helpdesk could be the first one. Or let me see if I have that. Just hold on for a second. So this is the SOP which I've downloaded very early back in last year, June, July. May have downloaded this. So it has all the stage of reporting: grievance redressal. You have a help desk. You have a reporting entities. You have stage 2 level escalations. You have stage 3 level escalations. For what purpose you have to do? Everything is mentioned in this SOP. So you can download this SOP from CERSAI's website, and you can just go ahead with that. Now I have a question from so this question is from Lematina. We have not got any update from KRA that CERSAI CKYC activity is done by KRA. Madam, there's a circular, sir, there is a circular from SEBI, and it's available on the SEBI's website. You can discuss with the KRA and just get this sorted. Still, KRA have not started CKYC. I'm not sure whether they have started it or not. I was just telling you there's a circular. There's a circular on 1st of in the month of July, and the impactment date was 1st of August. And 1st of August onwards, they were supposed to upload the data directly from their side to CERSAI. But if you're saying ki, do I need to report the data to KRAs? Yes, you need to continue to report the data to KRAs. CERSAI वाला दो चीजें थी. One was कि the brokers used to report the data to KRAs and CKYC both. They have to stop doing this CKYC data reporting, but continue to report data to KRAs. And KRAs will report the data to CERSAI. So that's how it has been done. So don't get confused ki you do not have to report only. You have to report the data to KRA and KRA will do it with CERSAI. That circular is there. You can discuss with your respective KRAs. I'm taking a question from Manjusha. We have submitted the form for CERSAI verification. Post same, there will be a tests and would start officially. Hence, no idea about the journey. I am unable to understand this question properly. If you could reframe this, I'm sure you are trying to talk about you have submitted the data, you are trying to generate your FI code. Uh, Hence, you don't have any idea and you have officially not started. I'm just trying to interpret this. If you have any better clarity or if you can reframe this question, I'll be able to answer this. I'm taking a question from Sunita Vishwakarma. Even after circular that CKYC will fetch data from KRAs, confirmation from the same is yet to be received and we are still not doing. I am not sure, ma'am. You can speak to the KRAs and if there is any further extension to this. Is the login credentials are same for Protean CKYC processing and CKYC? No, they both are different. They actually both are different. So what we do is, if you have a CKYC data, my portal could be connected to your admin or your ADID, and you can use those things for reporting the data to CERSAI. But your CERSAI system will remain separate, and those passwords will be separate. So it's not the same thing. It's two different things. So, okay, just to clarify on this, we are not a competitor of CERSAI. CERSAI is one and the only one, like Government of India and like IRCTC. IRCTC doesn't have any substitute. If I'm trying to book a train ticket from, let's say, Paytm or from third parties, any third party app, everyone is connected to IRCTC because they are the whole and sole owner of online ticket booking. No one else, they don't have any competitors. Similarly, CERSAI don't have any competitor, and even we are not a competitor. We are a participant in the ecosystem. We help institution to report the data to CERSAI. That's it, nothing else into it. So the details will be different. What details, all the portal which I am providing can have a generic ID, can have a ADID specific to your institution, but the IDs which you have with CERSAI will remain unique with CERSAI. And we are also, if we are trying to upload it, and we'll be using the same credentials for uploading as well on your behalf. Does Protean has API for CKYC data upload? No, we don't have an API for data upload because see, ma'am, data upload की API इस पे नहीं आएगी क्योंकि data upload is not just dumping the data. आप API बोलने का मतलब ये कर रहे हो कि मेरे पास जैसे ही मैं सीधा अपलोड कर दूं, नहीं, वो ऐसा नहीं हो पाएगा. You first need to verify the data. That's what this complete session was all about. We need to verify the data before reporting it. So जल्दी के चक्कर में हमको डंप नहीं करना है. We need to verify the data before reporting it to CERSAI. Do we need to fill CKYC template for customer and upload it? These data is just hold on. ये question was from Shanu Jain. So Shanu, in this situation, you need to upload the data of a customer, but if you have a physical journey or a digital journey, in both the situations, I'm sure you're storing the data in a digital format also. अगर आपकी आज फिजिकल ऑनबोर्डिंग हो रही है, बट आप सिस्टम में डेटा तो स्टोर करते ही होंगे ना. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि अगर शानू का, लेट्स से सौरभ शुक्ला का डिटेल आपको फाइंड आउट करना है तो आप पूरा फॉर्म फिर से ढूंढेंगे. नहीं, आपके पास सिस्टम में कहीं पे डिटेल होगी. तो जब सिस्टम में स्टोर करते हैं, देन यू नीड टू इंश्योर दैट details are stored and the sufficient details are there so that same could be reported to CERSAI as well. Post integration with Protean. I'm taking a question from again. Post integration with Protean. There will be no need to log in CERSAI using FI code. No, that would not be needed. We'll do a one-time SFTP configurations, which will be helpful, and the recurring logins and the recurring data uploads will be done via SFTP only. However, we as a TSP will be onboarded by you only, and will be acting on your behalf. So I'll be using your code only to report your data to CERSAI. I'm just helping you to report your data in a precise way. This is a question from Nilesha Berwa. Can you share circular link? If as per SEBI circular last year, financial intermediaries has to submit. But we can do a Google search, else we'll also share. Let me see if I could do it right now. I'll put this circular in the chat and you guys can download it right now itself. So I'm not able to share it on this. Not able to share. We'll share it separately with you. और you can just do a Google search, आपको ये मिल जाएगा. आप इसको देख लो and you can find out this circular specific. इसका आप this is the circular number. आप इससे भी सर्च करेंगे तो आपको मिल जाएगा. गूगल पे सर्च करेंगे तो ये मिल जाएगा आपको. I'm taking a question from Aryeb. If as per SEBI circular last year financial okay of care subsequent care in this situation how you are. I am unable to understand Aryeb's question. Just hold on. Let me reprint on that. If as per SEBI last year financial information has to submit. No, in this I won't be able to help anything to you. It's KRAs. You need to report the data to KRAs directly. I can only help you to report the data to KRA. That's it. Please share the content that we'll share separately. For KIN already, I'm taking this question from Lemonica again. For KIN already present in CERSAI, still we need to upload a proof or data, or there's an API service which provides a KIN already present. So there's a search and download API which you can use. Search can be done based on different parameters, which includes KIN as well. Apart from that, PAN DOB is also there. So you can search based on these form, you can find out the KIN number, and then hopefully you could download the data if needed. For NBFC type 1 is to register with CKYC or any timeline to register. So there's no timeline as such. This question is from Neelkant Group. There's no, if you're regulated by any regulator, PFRDA, SEBI, IRDI, or RBI, in that situation, you need to register yourself with CERSAI. There's no timeline for it. As soon as you, let's say, if you're commencing your business today, as you're doing, what is required to commence a business, like you need to have an incorporation certificate, you need to have a GSN. It's like that only. If you are going into that kind of a business, you need to ensure that you have an FI code, you have the registration available with you. No one is going to ask you on day one, but after 5 years of service, you shouldn't say that I don't have a FI code which is there with CERSAI. Ideally, you should do it on day one. Taking a question from Himanshu Kanogia, and it's up time. I won't be able to take much question. I'll take Himanshu Kanogia and Hema Malini Iyer. I'll take these two questions and I'll conclude this webinar. Will fetching the data from and two hands up. Will fetching the data from KRA CERSAI complies with this, or we have to update every time client data if he is on board with? If there's a delta, if there's a change, then yes. If there's no change, then it is not needed. If customer has changed his mobile number or email ID, then you need to update it. Else, no need. Sir, I have one doubt how to find out whether the customer is already have KIN. See, it all depends on key in your situation that data may have created in the on in the interim day after 2 days. So on after you have searched, the data might have been created. That's one hunch. Second hunch is also this key. There are three parameters. You have your Aadhaar plus DOB, sorry, PAN plus DOB, then your Aadhaar, then your mobile number. There are different parameters through which you can search the KIN number. Then you should have a redundancy model कि मैं मुझे सिर्फ एक से नहीं multiple चीजें से search करना है. Now I'll take a question from, I guess we have done. Just hold. Archana Patel. I'll take a question from her. Archana, in case your mic is unmuted, you can tell me what's your question.
Hi. Hello. Am I audible?
Yes. Yes, you're audible. Please go ahead. Hello, Archana. There's an echo from your side. I am unable to listen anything. Meanwhile, you fix it. I'll take a question from Vinay. Vinay Satish. I'll take a question from Vinay. I have enabled you. You can unmute yourself and you can speak, Vinay. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. So we'll conclude the session over here. If you have any questions, then you could mail it to us and we'll be able to respond on to that.
So thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining the call. So we had a hard stop currently. That is the reason why we had to rush a bit at the end. But if you have any queries, we tried to do, we tried to unmute a couple of participants who had raised the hand, but due to some technical issues, there was some echo going on in the background. So that is the reason why what we will do after this mail, we will be sharing the recording with you and the PPT and all the assets what we had shown in the meeting. You can reply on the mail and we can get you connected with Saurabh on priority basis. Also, I have shared a couple of things in the chat box, so you can just register your interest, fill the form, and we'll get in touch with you if you want to know more about our CKYC solution, ID APIs, and all the things what we have, which can help you to onboard customers quickly and do your KYC seamlessly. So thank you everyone again for joining the call, and we will see you, in the couple of sessions ongoing in this month as well. Thank you for joining this masterclass, and we hope to see you soon. Thank you.